Hello dear viewers, a very warm welcome to our channel. It's very good to have you here. In this video, we are going to have a look at some of the top causes of excessive fuel consumption. Excessive fuel consumption can drain your wallet and harm your vehicle performance. Let's have a look at some of the top causes leading to excessive fuel consumption. Well, the first cause of excessive fuel consumption is dirty or clogged air filter. The air filter is responsible for cleaning the incoming air. Dirty air filters restrict airflow, forcing the engine to work harder. So, it's a good idea to replace air filters every 50,000 to 30,000 miles, depending on the recommendation set on your vehicle's manual. Dirty air filters are the number one cause of excessive fuel consumption. 2. Underinflated tires. Underinflated tires have a tendency of increasing rolling resistance. If rolling resistance increases, then engine has to work harder in order to move the vehicle. This will lead to increased fuel consumption. So always keep your tires inflated to manufacturer's specific air pressure. 3. Faulty oxygen sensor. The oxygen sensor is responsible for sensing the amount of oxygen available in the exhaust so that the ECU can take corrective actions in order to correctly monitor the air-fuel ratio. Bad oxygen sensor sends incorrect air-fuel mixture data to the ECU. This will either cause rich fuel or lean fuel. That can result in excessive fuel consumption. So it's a good idea to check the vehicle if there is a check engine light illuminated on your dashboard. Codes like P013, P0135, P0171, P0174, all these indicate faulty oxygen sensor or associated wiring. So replace the sensor if it is faulty. 4. Dirty, clogged, or leaking fuel injectors. Deposits can disrupt fuel spray pattern. They will reduce combustion efficiency and they will increase fuel consumption as well as a result. Now, if there is a leaky fuel injector, however, this will drip excess fuel into the cylinders, wasting fuel. So, if there is a dirty fuel injector, if there is a clogged fuel injector that is causing misfire, or if there is a leaky fuel injectors in one of the cylinders, that can increase fuel consumption. So make sure that all the fuel injectors are clean. If there is a problem, either maintain it or replace if damaged. 5. Worn spark plugs. Spark plugs are responsible for initiating the combustion and they are very critical for optimum performance of your engine. If there is weak spark, this will cause incomplete combustion, and that incomplete combustion is wastage of fuel. So make sure that all the spark plugs are performing nicely. Replace the spark plugs as per manufacturer's recommended schedule. Typically, this could be somewhere around 30,000 to 100,000 miles. If there is weak spark that is generated inside the cylinders, that will result in incomplete combustion, reduced power, and increased fuel consumption. 6. Failing mass airflow sensor or MAF sensor. The MAF sensor is the one that is responsible for measuring the amount of air coming into the cylinders and informs this to the ECU. The ECU will then decide how much fuel has to be injected. Now, incorrect air intake reading can lead to improper fuel delivery. So if there is a problem with the MAF sensor, either it needs cleaning or it needs replacement. Clean error codes like P0101 up to P0103 are usually indicative of a failing mass airflow sensor. 7. Low engine compression. This has to do with the worn out cylinders, worn out piston ring. If there is worn piston ring or worn cylinder, worn valve, this will reduce combustion efficiency. The engine power and engine performance is dependent on how well air is compressed. If there is a problem with the compression, then we will have increased fuel consumption. So perform a compression test if you suspect there is mechanical wear, or if the engine needs rebuilding, it has to be rebuilt again. 8. Stuck open thermostat. The thermostat is responsible for regulating the coolant, especially on a cold start. If the thermostat is stuck open, that will result in engine running too cool. This will result in increased fuel consumption, especially during cold start. So if it is faulty, the thermostat has to be replaced. Ideally, the thermostat should be opening somewhere around 195 degree Fahrenheit up to 220 degree Fahrenheit. If it is not doing its job properly, then a stuck open thermostat will increase fuel consumption. 9. Bad positive crankcase ventilation valve, PCV valve. This will cause excessive crankcase pressure, disrupting air-fuel ratio, and increasing fuel consumption as a result. So if there is a problem with the PCV valve, it has to be replaced. 10. Exhaust gas restriction. This could be as a result of clogged catalytic converter or clogged muffler. This will result in excessive back pressure. When there is excessive back pressure, it will reduce engine efficiency. So the exhaust restriction will increase fuel consumption because the engine has to work harder in order to overcome the exhaust restriction and produce the necessary power. If there is a problem with the catalytic converter, it has to be replaced. Usually codes like P0420 or P0430, those are the codes indicating a faulty catalytic converter. If it needs replacement, then it has to be replaced. 11. Wrong type or contaminated fuel. Low quality fuel burn inefficiently. So if the gas in your tank is low quality, it will burn less, resulting in excessive fuel consumption. Always make sure that you are using the correct fuel recommended by the manufacturer. If you happen to find out that the fuel in your fuel tank is dirty, or if it is old, if it is low quality, drain the bad fuel and replace it with a new, fresh, and good quality fuel. 12. Faulty fuel pressure regulator. If there is a faulty fuel pressure regulator, this will cause either too high or too low fuel pressure inside the fuel rail. So this will result in increased fuel consumption. If the pressure is not well regulated inside the fuel rail, that will result in excessive fuel being injected into the cylinders. So always, if you suspect a faulty fuel pressure is causing increased fuel consumption, test the fuel pressure, replace the regulator if it is faulty. 13. Evaporative emission system leak, evap leak. If there is a leakage in the evaporative emission system, it means fuel is being wasted. Fuel vapors escape, and that will result in wastage. So check for leaks. If the ECU detects a problem with the evaporative emission control system, it will alert you by codes like P0440 up to P0457. Always make sure that the evaporative system is working nicely. 14. Aggressive driving or rapid acceleration or rapid driving. Driving habits really affect fuel pressure. If the driver is accelerating aggressively, if there is rapid acceleration and rapid braking, hard braking, that can increase fuel consumption. Aggressive driving can increase fuel consumption by up to 20 to 40%. So always make sure that you are driving smoothly. Use cruise control on highways if needed. 15. High speed and aerodynamic drag. Aerodynamic drag increases when the vehicle is driven at extremely high speed. Fuel consumption will spike above 65 miles per hour. Always make sure that you are driving at moderate speed. It's a good idea not to exceed 65 miles per hour. Consumption spike above 50 miles per hour up to 60 miles per hour. It's a good idea to drive your vehicle below that limit. 16. Excessive loading or heavy towing. Extra weight on your vehicle can strain the engine, leading to excessive fuel consumption. So always make sure that the vehicle is not overloaded. Remove unnecessary cargo. Use proper gear when towing. Otherwise, excessive load, extra weight, unnecessary baggage in your vehicle can increase fuel consumption. 17. Misaligned wheels. These are causing drag. This will result in increased resistance to rolling. So drag increases fuel consumption. Drag as a result of misaligned wheel can cause fuel consumption to increase. So get a wheel alignment check every 30,000 miles. 18. Old or wrong engine oil. When engine oil thickens, it will result in resistance. The engine will have difficulty rotating. Thick oil increases engine friction and engine rotational resistance. So always make sure that you are properly maintaining the engine by following the proper oil replacement schedule. Use manufacturer recommended oil grade as well. Finally, excessive idle is a waste of fuel. 0 miles per gallon is the fuel consumption of idling. So we're going to stay stationary for long period, turn off the engine and you can restart it when you want to resume your journey. So excessive idling is also killer of fuel consumption. So in order to diagnose high fuel consumption, check for trouble codes. Use an OBD2 scanner to determine what is causing a check engine light illumination. Troubles like a faulty MAF sensor, faulty oxygen sensor, faulty evap, all this can result in excessive fuel consumption. And always monitor real-time fuel trim data. Don't forget to inspect spark plugs and air filters, and test for fuel pressure as well. Make sure that the injectors are working nicely, and track your driving habits. Some of the things that you can do in order to prevent excessive fuel consumption include regular tune-up. By regular tune-up, we mean regular replacement of engine oil, engine fluids, filters, spark plugs. All these require regular tune-up, and always make sure that you are using the proper quality fuel. Maintain proper tire pressure, as this is very crucial, and avoid sharp trips if possible. Excessive fuel consumption often stems from mechanical issues, poor maintenance, or bad driving habits. Fixing these problems will boost your mile per gallon, saving you money and extend engine life. Well, dear viewers, that is all we have for you regarding some of the top causes of excessive fuel consumption. If you find this video helpful and if you like it, please give it a thumbs up. If you are new to this channel, do consider subscribing. Turn on notifications so that you'll be the first to get notified whenever we come up with another video. Until then, stay safe.